Hi everybody, Sarah here at the Big Blue House Homestead. Updates on my dad. He is home from the hospital. He's doing well. Everything the nurses said were going great. There was no signs of him digressing or getting worse. So it was just a standard TIA stroke. But it was scary. It was one of those things, you know, as a child you don't want to deal with and all of that. But I don't want to linger on all of that stuff. I just know that when I talked to him last night, his words were coming out a lot better. Things were sounding awesome. He's getting back to being himself again, which is what I wanted. I just want my dad. So I am very worn out and tired. I have been just going the past few days, keeping myself occupied, keeping my mind off of things. And we've had some storms come through. We've had some, problems with our chickens. Nothing bad, no predator issues, but I've got those babies and they insist on getting on top of their little brooder coop barn thing that we built them. And what that means is they're jumping out of the net on top of it, on top of the netting. So I have to climb in, move the net, climb over, reach, and lots of problematic stuff. So when Brian gets home today, we're building a nice rack roosting system of some sort to put in there so that maybe they'll just lay on those bars and be okay. I think since they found freedom, they're enjoying the space and they just want to get up as tall as they can. So just one of those things. But I'm going to put a video out today, and I'm not going to just do a short one, but we're going to do a harvest of the garden, and I want to show you a couple things because garden's changing. I've got sunflowers finally blooming, just little changes. So I want to share all of that so that we can see how the garden progresses. And it's still struggling with the heat, guys. I mean, it honestly is. And I do have diseased tomato plants, but it's just what it is. It's hard to grow heirlooms without having diseases come through. Hybrids usually don't have them because of the way they're genetically changed, and I just don't do a whole lot of hybrids. I grow some, but not a whole lot. So let's head out to the garden today and let's see what we need to pick, because I've been picking, I've been keeping up, but it's taken off pretty crazy, so I got a lot to do. So let's go out and get this harvest done. It's official, I have a sunflower. And there's some little bees on it. But that one opened up. This one over here is still coming to a head, but it's getting close. And then these two little guys opened up. This one's kind of intertwined with a vine. I'm just going to leave it because I kind of like the look. But yeah. Little sunflowers. I was struggling with the gourds, but check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one behind the leaf, 5. There's one above the leaf, 6, 7, 8. And that's just in that little section. But look, it's truly a real gourd. Birdhouse gourds. All right, I got bumblebees going, and I got noodle beans everywhere on this trellis. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest a bunch of these. There's a bumblebee. Oh, and a ladybug. So I absolutely missed the mark on picking these. They should have probably been picked yesterday. These might be okay, but see how they're getting a little more bumpy? I'm just going to leave them for seed. These are the smaller ones. They're fine. I mean, you can just see how massive that is. And when they start getting real bumpy and you can see the seeds through them, they're not really that great to eat. And that's what happened with a few of them. We had the rain, and rain makes them grow. And they grew a lot faster than I expected. Okay, I've already been harvesting a lot of tomatoes. It's just that time of year for me. They're starting to come in. I'll show you the ones on the counter because I do have quite a bit. But because we've been having these storms come through, I'm picking them when they're just starting to turn really orange. Because with all this rain, it causes them to split really bad. And so when they're really dark on the bottom and still light on the top, I go ahead and pick them. So we're going to harvest some of these tomatoes because I have quite a few. All right, I definitely got to get down this squash run and pick what I can because it rained, so that means we're going to have some big squash in here today. I would say that's a little big. Okay, dehydrator's going. I've got some onions in there. But I had to get a crate along with 3 baskets, and I'm out of breath because that thing got very heavy. Very, very heavy. So I'm going to pull all this out and show you what we picked today and what I skipped because it's too hot to continue, so I'll go back out later. Okay, I'm still in the process of cooling off. I can tell you it's like 91 right now. It's humid, it's hot, and I hate living in the South for that reason. Just be honest. You'll hear me complain, but not that I don't want to live here. This year's just been a terribly hot summer. But I am laughing because here I'm talking about hot, and I'm cooling off, and I'm washing the produce. Can you see that? That. It's blistered. Like sunburnt blistered. Have you ever seen that on a squash before? I have never seen that. Sorry, I've got itchy nose from bugs. I had some little gnats. But anyway, never seen a blistered squash. Told you it's hot. Alright, look at all the produce.
Tomatoes, apples, sweet potato tomatoes, I think.
It is. It's fine, you don't have to be on it.
I think 2 melons.
Look at me, Brandon. Those are melons.
I said it!
Is that exciting?
Yes,
Are those the silver lining melons? Because
Yeah.
Bigger melons?
Squash.
No, those are just the straight silver line melons.
We haven't gotten them that before.
No, they're doing really good. They're not squash, they're melons.
These are squash. They look similar to these and
Yeah.
they're squash.
Is that exciting?
Yeah, it's a lot
These
of
are squash
tomatoes.
stacked melons. Yes, a whole
Look at
bunch
all
of
these.
these.
Look at that little one.
Yep.
Purple.
Hopefully we can get better next time. What if we get huge
You guys gonna
melons?
start eating tomatoes?
No, they will never eat tomatoes. Okay, so tomatoes, silver line melons, bunch more tomatoes, zucchinis, yellow squash, delicata squash, some serranos, a couple of Jimmy Nardellos, the Pinot Noirs, some cherry tomatoes, and a bunch of noodle beans. And then back here, I hide them under, it sounds crazy, but I hide them underneath my bread towels because I get fruit flies. But that's what I picked yesterday. And I did cut down a green tomato on accident. It's because I cut from the other side. But yeah, so if you can see, it's filling up again. And this is the other counter. I've been trying to keep up with it. Trust me, that's zucchini just from the past few days. The delicata squash, acorns, those blue Hubbards. The yellow squash, I have actually processed and frozen like 5 bags, and I canned a bunch, and I made relish with them, and that was just pickings from the last day and a half, because I picked late at night the other night. But that tomato in the middle is my ox heart from up front, so it's going to stay there for seeds only, and then tons of cucumbers, and that was the noodle beans I picked last night. So, lots of stuff going on in here. Okay, I told you that I picked my tomatoes just a little early, especially with a lot of rain, and we're supposed to get rain possibly today and then more tomorrow, but they will get cracks in them. And it's fine. I mean, when you're canning tomatoes or you're eating tomatoes, you can cut that spot off, you can eat it, or you can just peel the skins, not a big deal. But that's the reason why I pick them a little early, because I don't want all of my tomatoes to look like that. But I will admit that my favorite type of tomatoes in my garden are the ones with noses. I don't know how that happens. This looks like it could have possibly been 2 blossoms because of the connection here. And then you can see the 2 holes in the bottom. That usually shows, you know, where the blossoms fall off. So it's possibly 2, but how did it grow a nose? Little nosy tomatoes. But I like finding those. That just proves that, you know, that's homegrown, not store-bought. And then in reality, when I think about seeing things like this, you don't see these on the shelves. And a lot of people at farmers markets, I haven't seen a lot that are really gnarly like this. So imagine, that's the stuff that goes to the production companies that make tomato sauce and ketchup and, you know, diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, things like that, because they can't be sold pretty. So then they're just thrown into machines and processed down. So there's nothing wrong with eating tomatoes like this at all. I mean, you're eating it when you eat processed tomato products anyway. I mean, even pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce, I'm sure they don't take the perfectly beautiful all the time, you know, right, commercial grade quality model-esque tomatoes, I'm sure they take a lot like this as well. So just sorry, I'm still itchy. Just putting it out there. I mean, think about your food, think about where it comes from. In reality, gnarly, ugly tomatoes, they're edible. And I like them because I got noses. Not a big deal. But thank you guys for stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and go cool off. I still got to go out and pick more. I didn't even get it all. There was 2 beds of squash I didn't even touch, and all those little tiny baby currant tomatoes, which I'll show you. I keep eating these just by the handful. These are my garden candy. They are so sweet and yummy, and they taste like a good tomato. And that bowl was full. But yeah, I'm going to go cool off. I'm going to go relax. It's about 10:40, and I want to get this edited and put up so that Dad can have something to watch today to keep himself nice and relaxed. Hope you're doing good, and keep resting. Rest up, please. But thank you guys for stopping by, and thank you for all of your wonderful words and the prayer circles you had going and things that really touched me, you know. I don't want to get upset, but yeah, like I said in advance, I was going to thank you a million times over, and I'll get to your comments. I'll probably sit down. I've been just off social media completely, even off Instagram. I didn't even touch it, look at it, nothing. I haven't even watched YouTube. I did go into the Stivers Live, but I stayed for like 30 seconds maybe. I just didn't have it in me. I didn't want to do social media. So anyway, I'll be back. I don't know if I'll do videos every day. Dad wants to see content, so I'm going to try to put things out for him. I know he very much enjoys the videos. He watches every day, and he looks forward to them. And 90% of the time when I tell him, hey, Dad, video's up, first thing he says is, I've been waiting. So, you know, he just wants to see us and see how we're doing. So, thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.